Okay. I never thought I'd be this excited to see full grown men training. But Bayern Munich are back training. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Bayern Now, the ultimate Bayern Munich fan channel. So the team is back training. The Mannschaft are back training. The men are back training. I can't. Oh, Jesus Christ. Should I even. Oh, my goodness. I am so excited. What's up, Keep Mine? I'm so excited for this. The team looks like they've been living in caves for the past 3 weeks or so because they look absolutely dreadful. Lewandowski has look at the haircut in that thumbnail. My goodness, Lewa looks dead. He looks like that grandpa that just no. I think every single player misses playing, and it's like you can't do your job and entertain people because ultimately footballers are a form of entertainers. They like to entertain. So you can't do your job if you're not allowed to go to your job, and they all look. You know what? I wonder what this is gonna do to our season when it returns. Are other players gonna just be able to play behind closed doors, no fans? Are the players gonna do that? No one's talked about this, but are the players gonna be able to do it? Geez, I don't think so. I'm looking at all these players, and is Alphonso Davies, because Alphonso Davies relies so much on the 70,000 German fans in the Allianz Arena just cheering his name and getting excited every time he does anything and just going absolute energetic over this young kid. And is he going to play the same when there's only press conference people from the media, and then it's just 22 men on the field, 5 on the bench? Is it 6? I forgot. And is he gonna do that? Are so many players of ours gonna perform without the fans? Because I feel like sometimes the fans, it could be a moment in the game where the team hasn't woken up, and the fans just start, the energy in the ground, and the tifos and the ultras just go, and then the players just start performing. We start passing quicker. The players won't have that pressure from the fans to score. So I wonder if that's gonna help, or not help. It's gonna be a very, very, very weird game when we see, a Bayern Munich game behind closed doors, because we've yet to see it. The Chelsea game hasn't been played. I think they'll finish the league. They'll start it at the end of this month, because I feel like Germany's handled this far better than most countries. I'm looking at the coronavirus now, and Germany has... How many cases does Germany have? View full map. We're looking at... So Germany, which is here, has 1.2... Germany has about 100,000 cases, 25,000 more deaths. I guess somehow Germany is still just, better. And Italy, there's 132,000 cases, and their death rate or the amount of deaths are going down slowly, but the recoveries are also going up, which is good to see. But Germany just seems like they've handled this better than most people have. I don't know how Germany only has. I don't know how they have 100,000 cases and not that many deaths. I don't know who it's affected, or if Germans are just naturally more fit. I don't know, but this is good that Germany's taking care of this, because that means that I think the Bundesliga will come back first. Obviously not with fans. But the best thing is we just need players playing football and us watching it, because in the midst of this crisis, football is our escape. Most people will say movies and TV shows. For me, it's watching 22 men on the pitch play the most beautiful game of all time, the best sport of all time. That's for me what is my escape. I don't care about TV shows. I don't care about movies. I'm not into anime. I'm not into anything else. I don't want anything else. I just want it back. I just want to play. I just want football back. So it's good to see Germany's handling it well. England have 5,000 plus deaths with less cases, half the cases of Germany, which is great for Germany, most especially. Spain looks like they're kind of starting to catch up. Pep Guardiola's mother died. That's very sad to hear. She was only 82 years old from the coronavirus. I'm thinking to myself, how did that happen? How do you just end up getting the coronavirus? what happened? What made you get the coronavirus? And countries like Chile are starting to really get up there in cases, which is very annoying. I'd like it to, I just like this thing to stop. I don't understand how this just spread around the entire world anyways. If the world knew the coronavirus was coming around. Merkel even had a direct talk. I think the government took this seriously, which is good. Merkel even had a direct talk to the German people on TV. Yeah, if she did that, damn, Germany's handling it well. Because I'm not hearing their system being overloaded. Somehow look at this. Only 1,500. Now, one death is too many, but still, 100,000 people infected. In Italy, they have 132. Even France have 8,000 deaths out of 70,000 people infected and only 16,000 recoveries. And Germany's just, somehow they've kept their system good. And even German players just donating money all over the place. So that must have helped. So, geez. Look at the U.S. Oh my God. 347,000 cases and 17,000 recoveries and 10,000 deaths. And majority of those are probably just in New York City. The U.S. is huge. Germany's bigger than England. And I think Germany's also the same size as France. I'm not sure. But Germany's handled this well, which is good to see. But, Bayern players are back training. Jesus Christ, I just enjoyed those images. Should I can't show them now, but, go on Twitter. They're beautiful. Davies with his long hair. They look like they haven't had a haircut in years. Lewandowski looks like a caveman. That's such a beautiful sight to look at. I never thought in my life I would look at old men training. Neuer's back. I just wish they live streamed this, started filming it. I would love that because I'm really bored and I'd like to watch that. But even we take this stuff for granted. We're always like training pictures. Just get to the match day. Well, we can't have a match day for a long time, so we might as well get training back. It's good to see the players training though. That's important because it's so important for them to build that connection off the pitch, and I think we get an advantage as do other Bundesliga clubs because they have players training back. Premier League isn't back training. They won't be back training probably till a few more weeks, and that's that's because German facilities are just better. A team like Freiburg have very advanced facilities. Liverpool's training facility is a street. Actually, training Melwood is it's just so that's why they're building a new training center. But Liverpool's training facility looks crap. It looks like some kid built it, and that's that. I'm looking at it now. It looks like a team that's getting relegated. It is not good enough. But if you look at Bayern Munich's training ground, more advanced, and I'm looking at them now, so much more advanced. It looks like a hospital with different buildings and different facilities, injury buildings, which is we have a whole hospital built into it. There's a bunch of pitches. It's like a whole small little village. The players could literally just start living there because I'm sure there's beds somewhere. It could be literally a small hotel. The players could live there and just stay in isolation. The staff could probably live there. I'm taking it too far, but oh God, why? What is that? But it's good. It's good to see. Look at our training ground, and that's why I think the Bundesliga will come first, because of the fact that German training grounds and the facilities, the stadiums are so much more advanced. That you can do so much more with German stadiums, and it's just and German technology. I don't know why Germany, I don't know why Germany just is more advanced than every other country in terms of. They're just so calm. It's just, I don't know. Germany, Dortmund's training ground has to be immense because, they're just developing young players like nothing. That comes from the training ground. And I don't know. Look at their training ground. Jesus Christ, that's big. Looks like a whole army base. Wow. That's a big training ground. And that's what I'm thinking about. And the kids even have their own training ground. Right, Liverpool is probably the first English club that's going to have. That's why Klopp was like, I want a better training ground because Melwood looks like a freaking street corner. What's Manchester United's training ground looking like? Eon Training Complex. Oh my God, it looks even. It looks so, you know, not advanced. That's what it looks. It looks so boring, and it's like a small building. That's why England is so behind on everything. Look at this. I mean, Bayern Munich have a whole military base with barracks and different buildings. It's just one big building, and then there's a bunch of pitches. Which for Man United, a big club like that, they don't have advanced technology. They don't have that. So it's very good to see that. That's why I think German football will come back, because first, even if Germany gets more cases, and I think it's starting to slow down. I mean, yesterday I saw it was around 100,000 people. It's starting to slow down, and that's good. The spread, and because I don't know, Germans just somehow, are healthier than everyone else. Germany has one of the biggest life expectancies. It's because they're the fittest. And hold on, best life expectancy. So there is. I mean, geez, Hong Kong. I mean, but still, Hong Kong don't have as many people. What's Germany's? Because it has to be very good, right? Well, Iceland has 82 years. Oh my goodness. I feel like Oh, why isn't Germany on here? Germany would. Germany. Okay, so Germany's life expectancy is 81 years old, whereas the United States is 78. That's 3 years of a difference. That's good for Germany. And that's crazy. That's very good. Because, I mean, your people are just more healthier. So if this was to happen in Japan, which it has, right? They've controlled it better. And did this happen in Japan? Where is Japan? South Korea. South Korea got 186 deaths. And and only 10,000 cases, considering China is literally next door. I don't know about how real China's numbers are, but Japan, 73 deaths, only 3.6 thousand cases, with 584 recovered. So a large majority of people. That's good. Like, how is the rest of the world suffering so much more from this? It's just, these little countries, Germany and all these countries, they're handling it so well. Iceland only have 364,000 people, so that's a lot of. Turkey's kind of also messed it up. Iran, I'm guessing a bunch of young people probably had it in these countries, but even Saudi Arabia, there's so many countries where I feel, they've handled it way better than everyone else. I feel like China already has like an antidote for this. And they're gonna charge everyone $1 billion just to get one sample of it. China might as well just make this into a little business. But like, this is what I'm saying. I mean, Germany's handled this well, so the players. That's so good that they're back training, because that's what we need. I need something to keep my mind off this crap. I mean, if I had school and I was going there, I would have friends where we could just relax. But none of that's happening, so, none of that's happening. I didn't wake up. I've been up for 2 hours. But still, I hope this situation blows over and we can just, I don't know, is football going to be back? I feel like, when the death rate slow down, when, the amount of new cases drops like probably 50%, I feel like that's when we're going to see, fans back in the stadium. And I feel, clubs are going to have to find ways to test people quickly, and they're going to what if half the stadium is empty? Like, what about that? What if, if a stadium had a capacity of 40,000, maybe only 20,000 are allowed in. And then they have to be spread out with, it's like Manchester City, just like Man City. It could just be that. I feel like that's what they're gonna do to slowly get fans back in. Maybe 1/3 are allowed, and then half, and then and then they slowly get to a point where people can be in the stadium. And that's if the death rates and the amount of new cases just goes significantly down, and the system isn't overloaded. Because what would happen is, back on yet, Jordan? No, it's not just Bayern Munich players training. which I think they will start playing after this month, so the end of it. So into May, I think that's where, yeah, and the 2nd of March, 2nd of April, or of May, you mean. March already happened. Unless you're talking about March next year, I'm not waiting. But I think it's the 2nd of April, or 2nd of May, which is crazy because, this is like, I'm a junior. You know what? The class of 2020, graduating class, their life must suck. Think about it. You had nothing. Yeah, May. You know what? We need that. And I want to watch the Champions League, so we want to win that. See, I don't really care about watching. Bundesliga said May 2nd, and I think the Premier League are wanting to finish. So UEFA said, you know what? All club competitions have to be finished by August the 1st. So August the 5th actually, which is a weekend. So the last match days have to take place by then. Which is, I like that because it means that we can expect to see seasons finished before August. And someone was telling me, well, players need their breaks. Hey, what is this one then? What do you consider this? This is literally more breaks than they actually get ever. And especially, just a year or two before the World Cup, they're getting this big break. They might, this is probably the only long break they're ever gonna get. And even if they do start training, they're still in a break. They're not playing matches, right? It's just training and to keep them fit. So technically this is a break, players are getting a break, So yeah, they're getting a break, and there's really no reason as to why, we're super focused on getting players their summer breaks. Players aren't, come on, they like their job, it's not like they hate it. It's not like they're going and digging up coal mines to try and get, no, they're not doing that. They're playing football for a living. As much as football is hard on the pitch and difficult and you have to stay fit, it's not mining. It's not mining for coal. You're not digging anything. You're not dirty. You just go win trophies. Especially, some of these players didn't even have to really work for, they did, but still, some of them like Thiago just has natural skill. Like Thiago woke up, and he just had skills. His dad was Brazilian. His brother was also playing. You know how much influence they had on him? So, this guy just didn't... Thomas Muller was just being taken the best, young youth teams to Bayern Munich at like 15 or 16. These guys didn't have to work that hard. Lewandowski was only going 2 hours away from his house training every single day, and his parents were picking him up. So it doesn't matter. Yeah, okay. Maybe it does. So, hopefully they're back. Bayern were considering selling Corentin Tolisso to Manchester United in January. However, Hansi Flick vetoed the move. Wow, that's cool. Good to know. I didn't care. I didn't ask. So, yeah, the fact that the players are back training means that the intent for the league is to be returned as soon as possible. You know what, yeah? I don't understand this. I feel like these leagues don't all have to return at the same time, right? Surely not. Flick is a bum. Flick eats poop. Wow. Are you alright? I beat Spurs last night. I know you're not a Spurs fan. Oh, it was 8-2. It was a thrashing. Ooh. I can't wait to be in the Champions League quarterfinal. I'm gonna win the Champions League. Lewandowski is gonna win his first Champions League with Bayern Munich, and then I can just sell him to Real Madrid for 100 million or something when he's 31 years old. But I don't know. Germany's handled this better than anyone. Come on. Look at the just everything. Germany has only 1,500 deaths, which is still a lot, but 25,000 recoveries. And obviously they're not going to lie about that. Coronavirus. I want to see their death rate. More than 100,000 cases in Germany. German deaths rise to 1,275 with 168 new fatalities. I want to know, just Germany, exception, why the country's coronavirus has hit Germany hard, but still, but the percentage of fatal cases has been remarkably low compared to those in many. Yeah, exactly. They called them corona taxis. Medics outfitted in protective gear driving around the empty streets to check on patients who are at home 5 or 6 days into being sick with the coronavirus. They take a blood test looking for signs that a patient is about to go into a steep decline. They might suggest hospitalization even to a patient who only has mild symptoms. The chances of surviving that decline are vastly improved by being in a hospital when it begins. Wow, so you're telling me before it gets to that critical stage, German workers, health workers, medics outfitted in protective gear actually go door to door to people or patients who are at home who are trying to recover. Wow, that's crazy. The Premier League are trying to restart the league behind closed doors. I'll be there to watch you fail tonight. Oh, interesting. Well, the Bundesliga will return first. You're going to be watching the Bundesliga first because there's no way England or even the British government allows the Premier League to start first. And also, have you thought about the facilities? Right, Bayern Munich are allowed to train today because of, even just German teams are allowed to train today because of their facilities. Bayern just put a giant barrier so there's no one could get in. That's it, right? But Liverpool's training ground is literally it looks like my park, the dog park that I go to go practice sometimes. It looks like that. That's the difference we're talking about here. The levels, the stadiums as well. You know how. Even though Liverpool are a big team, 40,000 capacity, small stadium, but not only that, it's not even advanced, right? And there's talks of pretty much every team trying to get a new stadium or try and build a new one. Even Spurs had to scrap White Hart Lane and go to a new stadium, or just make it a new stadium. But still, even Wembley Stadium is in advance. England has terrible stadiums, but not worse than Italy. Italy won't return because their stadiums aren't. They don't have that advancedness. Germany is everything is fluid. That's why they're handling this better than everyone else. You love to hate on us. I don't hate on England. I just tell you facts because technically the quality of stadiums is crazy. Respect the home of football, England. Well, it's coming home, isn't it? You have one World Cup. Yeah, one World Cup. So apparently German health experts are going into people's homes, right? Even to a patient who only has mild symptoms. That's how they're doing this. That's so crazy. Wow. They're literally called Corona taxis. Wow, okay. There's a tipping point at the end of the first week, said the head of virology at University Hospital in Heidelberg, one of Germany's leading research hospitals. If you are a person whose lungs might fail, that's when you will start deteriorating. The virus and the resulting disease, COVID-19, have hit Germany with force. According to Johns Hopkins University, the country had more than 100,000 laboratory-confirmed infections as of Monday morning, more than any country except the United States, Italy, and Spain. But with 1,500 deaths, Germany's fatality rate stood at 1.6%, compared with 12% in Italy, around 10% in Spain, France and Britain, 4% in China, nearly 3% in the US. Even South Korea, a model of flattening the curve, has a higher fatality rate, 1.8%. There's been talk of German whatever league starts first will get loads of money. Everyone is desperate to watch some. Yeah, that's true. Everyone is. There is no way that a Premier League fan is going to be like, you know what? I don't like any other league other than the Premier League. Oh, but Bayern Munich are playing Dortmund. It's in an empty state. Hell yes, I'm going to watch. They'll subscribe to Fox Sports. They'll get ITV. They'll get BT Sport because they do show their Bundesliga. I think on occasion on BT. I don't know. But they'll watch it. Come on. They will watch it. And they will enjoy it. And they'll just be like, wow, England has some crap young players. Germany has all these guys all over the place. And they're better than these Declan Rice. They're better. Oh, man. Declan Rice will cost, like Man United, 80 million if they bought him from West Ham. But Dennis Zakaria will cost them 40 million or even 30 million because it's just European market is beautiful. Crap young players have gone too far. Hey, England doesn't have that many great young players because if they did, I don't know. I feel like the only big ones are Sancho, and even then, France has Mbappe. It's just there's levels to this. What are you doing differently? They asked me. He said, "Why is your death rate so low?" So There are several experts say a mix of statistical distortions or very rare differences in how the country has taken on the epidemic. The average age of those infected in Germany is lower than in many other countries. Many of the early patients caught the virus in Austrian and the Italian ski resorts and were relatively young and healthy. It started as an epidemic of skiers. Wow, this started with skiers, so that's crazy. Yeah, at the end of the day, they're all football fans, not just league merchants. That's true. Except Premier League fans. I love doing this. As infections have spread, more older people have been hit. And the death rate, only 0.2% 2 weeks ago, has risen too. But the average age of contracting the disease remains relatively low at 49. In France, it's 62.5, and in Italy, 62, according to their latest national report. You know what? This is so infecting to old people. So that's why I would say that the death rates in many of these countries are inflated, because Germany is getting the average age at 49, whereas Italy is 62. That's a whole 10, 12-year difference right there. So another explanation for the low fatality rate in Germany is that Germany has been testing far more people than most nations. That means it catches more people with few or no symptoms, increasing the number of known cases, but not the number of fatalities. That automatically lowers the death rate on paper, says Professor Krislich, but there are also significant medical factors that have kept the number of death rates in Germany relatively low. Epidemiologists and virologists say, chief among them, early and widespread testing and treatment, plenty of intensive care beds, and a trusted government whose social distances guidelines are widely observed. See, Germans are doing it. In mid-January, long before most Germans had given the virus much thought, Charité Hospital in Berlin had already developed a test and posted the formula online. That's crazy. By the time Germany why am I reading a news article? I will keep reading it. It's interesting. By the time Germany recorded its first case of COVID-19 in February, laboratories across the country had built up a stock of test kits. The reason why we in Germany have so few deaths at the moment compared to the number of infected can be largely explained by the fact that we are doing an extremely large number of lab diagnoses, said Dr. Christine Drosten, chief virologist at Charité, whose team developed the first test. By now, Germany is conducting around 350,000 coronavirus tests a week, far more than any other European country. Early and widespread testing has allowed the authorities to slow the spread of the pandemic by isolating known cases while they're infectious. It has also enabled life-saving treatment to be administered in a more timely way. When I have an early diagnostic and can treat patients early, for example, put them on a ventilator before they deteriorate, the chance of survival is much higher. Medical staff at particular risk of contracting and spreading the virus are regularly tested. To streamline the procedure, some hospitals have started doing block tests using the swabs of 10 employees and following up with individual tests only if there is a positive result. At the end of April, health authorities also plan to roll out a large-scale antibody study testing random samples of 100,000 people across Germany every week to gauge where immunity is building up. Okay, so immunity is building up. One key to ensuring broad-based testing is that patients pay nothing for it, said Professor Street. This, he said, was one notable difference with the United States in the first several weeks of the outbreak. The coronavirus relief bill passed by Congress last month does provide for free testing. A young person with no health insurance or an itchy throat is unlikely tested. A patient at his hospital in Bonn, where someone else had tested positive. As soon as the test results were in, the school was shut on all staff and were ordered to stay at home with their families for 2 weeks. Some 235 people were tested. Testing and tracking is a strategy that was successful in South Korea, and we have tried to learn from that, Professor Streak said. Germany also, oh my goodness, is anyone entertained by this? Because I am. Germany also learned from getting it wrong early on. The strategy of contact tracing would have been used more aggressively, he said. All those who had returned to Germany from Ischgl, an Australian ski resort that had an outbreak, for example, should have been tracked down and tested, Professor Streak said. A robust public healthcare system. Before the coronavirus pandemic swept across Germany, University Hospital in Gießen had 173 intensive care beds equipped with ventilators. In recent weeks, the hospital scrambled to create an additional 40 beds and increased the staff that was on standby to work in intensive care by as much as 50%. We have so much capacity now we are accepting patients from Italy, Spain, and France, said Suzanne Harold, a specialist in lung infections at the hospital who was overseeing the restructuring. We are very strong in the intensive care area. Okay, I need to just stop doing this. I'm reading I'm reading why Germany doesn't have has all these like what they don't have they have a 1.2 death rate. All right, I think I'm gonna end the stream here, everyone. Thank you so much for watching. Mia sad Mia and peace. I'm gonna keep reading that. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna read it off, finish it, and then just end the stream. Okay. Okay. All across Germany, it's only one paragraph left, or a few. All across Germany, hospitals have expanded their intensive care capacities and started from a high level. In January, Germany had some 28,000 intensive care beds equipped with ventilators, and 34 per 100,000 people. By comparison, that rate is 12 in Italy and 7 in the Netherlands. By now, there are more than 40,000 intensive care beds available in Germany. Some experts are cautiously optimistic that social distancing measures might be flattening the curve enough for Germany's healthcare system to weather the pandemic without producing a scarcity of life-saving equipment like ventilators. It is important that we have a guideline for doctors on how to practice triage between patients if they have to, Professor Streak said, but I hope we will never need to use them. The time it takes for the number of infections to double has slowed to about 9 days. If it slows a little more, to between 12 and 14 days, Professor Harold said, the model suggests that triage could be avoided. The curve is beginning to flatten, she said. Trust in government. Beyond mass testing and the preparedness of the healthcare system, many also see the Chancellor Angela Merkel's leadership as one reason the fatality rate has been kept low. Miss Merkel, a trained scientist, has communicated clear, calmly, and regularly throughout the crisis as she imposed ever stricter social distancing measures on the country. The restrictions, which have been crucial to slowing the spread of the pandemic, met with little political opposition and are broadly followed. The Chancellor's approval ratings have soared. Maybe our biggest strength in Germany, said Professor Kuslich, is the rational decision-making at the highest level of government combined with the trust the government enjoys in the public. Wow! Germany! Good job! Actually, why am I not lagging now? But later on I'll be lagging. But, okay, so, Germany just... So, hopefully this means that, Angela Merkel, is she a Bayern fan? I think she is. So, hopefully, she, hopefully, she lets Bayern play in the Bundesliga. So thank you everyone so much for watching. Mia and peace.